For the next 20 or 30 minutes, just consider me the sis that you never had, and I'm about to get you all the way together. I'm about to snatch all your edges. And before we get started, y'all, we listen and we don't judge. You might need your popcorn and your notebook for this one.
All right, I think we're kind of done with this one.
I wish somebody would have told me this, but girl, like I said, sis, I got you. I found out that, you know, I'm only 33, so it's not really giving auntie, but big sis got you. Because baby, one thing I did was run amok in my 20s, and I'm here to help y'all out so y'all don't do the same, okay? Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Ashley Janaya. If you can tell by the title of this video, I'm gonna tell y'all, I wanted to do 10, but y'all, the list just kept going and going and going and going. So I think we got about like 10 to 15 things that I wish I knew in my 20s. And then we're going to talk about things that have to do with life in general, motherhood, finance, like all of it, y'all. This is things that I just wish I knew sooner. And you know how sometimes even if you knew sooner, you still probably wouldn't have did the right thing. But I'm just telling you because nobody told me. And if you don't listen to nothing else in this video, friend, I hope you at least listen to something. Take something away. Even if you don't listen to all of them might not apply, but just take something, y'all, because I want y'all to do better. I want y'all to be better, okay? Okay, y'all, so like I said, for reference, I am 33, so I'm out of the 20s, y'all, and this is some things I just wish I knew sooner, wish I knew in my 20s, and wish I would have done or could have done differently. Should have probably just done differently, y'all. This is what I've learned, okay? Bear with me. But y'all, of course, I got my notes here on my phone, so I'm just going to be looking down periodically just to make sure we stay on topic. But jumping off the gate, y'all, one thing that I want to remind somebody who's in their 20s and they're watching this, even if you're not even in your 20s yet, just know that going forward, as you grow, as you mature, you do not have to have it all figured out. That's my first one. You do not have to have it all figured out, because guess what? I know if you're thinking about going to college, or maybe you don't want to go to college, maybe you want to go to a technical school, or you just want to do an unconventional path, but y'all, you do not have to have it all figured out as soon as you graduate high school, as soon as you know, reach certain milestones. You don't have to have it all figured out. You need to figure it out as you go. It's perfectly okay to not know what you want to be when you grow up, to not have your life plan all mapped out. Like, it's perfectly okay. Nobody's gonna judge you, but you do need to start trying to figure it out. So that's my first tip. You do not have to have it all figured out. Now, this next tip, y'all, I made a video about this on my TikTok and the girls ate it up. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop this one for number 2, just in case y'all decide to scroll off this video. And I don't know why you're scrolling off the video, because baby, you need to know this, okay? But just in case you scroll off, I want to make sure you get this one. So tip number 2 is do not overshare, okay? And this is coming from a person who has overshared her whole life. Even, y'all, it even kind of rolled over into my 30s when I realized, like, you just overshare a little bit too much, y'all. So I'm here to tell you, do not overshare. Like, it's okay to keep some things to yourself. And y'all, again, this is coming from the oversharers of the oversharers. Do not tell that man, do not tell that friend that you're not even sure if she your friend. Sometimes don't even tell your family all of your business, y'all. I'm telling you, it's gonna backfire. It's gonna work against you instead of for you. Do not tell them all your business, especially that man, because you know what he gonna do? He gonna put it in his back pocket and save it for a rainy day. And he's gonna use everything that you told him about your past self. He's gonna use that against you, y'all. For somebody, like I said, I had to learn that the hard way. I'm telling, you know, this man, I'm trusting him. I'm telling him everything about me or how I used to do things in the past. But I'm not that person that I was in the past no more. So now you're going to try to keep me where I once was. But all of that stemmed from me just running my mouth too much. And while we're on that, that's going to take me into number 3. Silence is your power. Being quiet, y'all, it's a lot of power in not saying anything. Like, you don't have to always have a response for everything. You don't always have to get your point across. You don't always have to say something, y'all. Silence is power. It's okay to listen more than you speak. Actually, I prefer you to listen more than you speak, because when you're listening, y'all, you can catch a whole lot of things about a person, about a situation, about everything, if you just listen and stop running your mouth. Like, y'all, just don't run your mouth, y'all. Like, you know how they say speak when spoken to? That's what I want y'all to do in your 20s, okay? Don't say a word. It's okay to be a little mysterious. He does not have to know everything about you, especially if y'all haven't gotten to the point where the trust is there and you think that he's the one. It's no reason for you to be telling all your business. Same thing for that girl. Same thing for that fake friend. It's no reason for her to know all your business, because as soon as y'all stop talking, the whole world's gonna know your business. So silence is, there's power in being silent. So I'm gonna try to keep up count, but I think this is tip number 4. Y'all, it's okay to say no. It's okay to say no. I want y'all to practice saying no. Like, just say no. 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 Can you? No. No. But what if I, no. Do you mind if I just practice saying no, y'all? Because that was that was a huge thing for me, because I always felt like I had to be there for everybody and I always had to say yes, and I always had to figure out a way to make it work. But y'all, when I tell you, saying no is one of the hardest but most powerful, empowering things, because you tell people how to treat you. That's how you start to create those boundaries, by telling people no. No, I'm not okay with that. No, actually, I don't want to go there. No, actually, no, I can't do that. It teaches other people boundaries, and it teaches people how to treat you, just because they know they can't come to you and ask you nothing crazy, because no, you're not going to do it. You're not going to do it. I didn't learn that, y'all, until I became a hairstylist. Becoming a hairstylist was one of those moments where I really learned how to say no and stand on the no. If you're a hairstylist, then you already know. Sometimes you just got to say no and leave it right there. Don't even give them no explanation. So, y'all, it's okay to say no, and definitely set some boundaries. Whatever your boundaries are, y'all, you have to find them. Find them now in your 20s and set those boundaries, and you have to stick to them, because that's one thing, again, I wish I would have done. Now I'm in my 30s, and yes, now it's not too late, but if I would have already had those boundaries in place, y'all, it would have been nothing. It would have been nothing. But the minute you let somebody break your boundary, now you got to start all over with training them. Who has time for that? I know I don't have time for that. Do you have time for that? Say no. Set those boundaries. See, I'm giving y'all 2 tips in one, so we're just going to keep on rolling. You can keep up. Just make sure you got your popcorn, a bag of chips, your favorite drink, if you old enough. And just make sure you're taking notes. Ooh. So kind of like switching gears, like I said, we're going to talk about life, personal confidence, motherhood if you have children. We're going to talk about all of that. So kind of just like, moving on, switching gears just a little bit, y'all. My next tip, something I wish I knew in my 20s, is about them finances. Y'all, do not use credit cards because you just feel like you got money on there and you can spend it. Credit is king. Credit is king. You can do a lot with credit. But my mistake was, y'all, I got my first credit card when I was in college, and it was a Victoria's Secret credit card. That was the first credit card company to approve me. I did not need a Victoria's Secret card. Why I needed a Victoria's Secret credit card? And I'm telling y'all, those retail credit cards, those are the worst. Because obviously you can only use the card in that store, and now you're going in that store just because you know you have that credit, and you spending money that you don't even have for real, don't need to be spending. And now you're building your credit. Don't let them tell you that you can get this credit card also, and they're gonna give you this, and this. Another one, y'all. So once I started building my credit, I also got the Discover card while I was in college. They tell you, oh, this is the perfect card for college students. Don't get that Discover card. I don't care what you do. Don't get that Discover credit card. Baby, the interest was so high. I'm still drowning. I need a life jacket. That's how high the interest was. Do not get that Discover credit card. So y'all, I'm telling you right now, limit your credit cards. I'm not saying don't get one at all, because you know how the mamas then tell you, they tell you not to do something, we're going to do the total opposite. So I'm not going to tell you not to get them, but I don't recommend you getting a retail one as like a store that you can only use in that store. I don't recommend that. And I don't recommend that Discover card. I recommend that you get a card that you can use any and everywhere for emergencies, of course, that's going to have some good rewards and the best interest rate as possible. No, the interest rate is not going to be low to the ground, but y'all, if it's 22 and higher, leave it. If it's 22% or higher, leave the credit card where it is. Okay? And that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm gonna say on that. So my next thing, y'all, in your 20s, y'all, and again, if you're in your teens, it's okay. You can still listen to Big Sis, because I got you. But y'all, try everything. Try everything, y'all. Fail fast. I know a lot of people are afraid to fail, but y'all, your 20s, the younger you are, that is the best time to fail, because you have more time to fix it. Like in my 30s, I'm in my early 30s, like I told y'all. But the older you get, the more that fear starts to set in. And even though I'm still able to fail and learn from my failures, and it's not too late, but if you start failing in your 20s and learning from things in your 20s, imagine where you could be by the time you're in your 30s. So y'all, try everything. Do not be afraid to try something different, to try something new, to try something that you didn't think you would like. Like, try it all. Fail fast so you can move on and grow fast. I'm telling you, the thing that's standing in the way of the thing that's standing in the way of your success is you being afraid to try. So try everything. So if you're new here, y'all, I became a mom at the ripe age of 18. I had my son as a teenager right after high school. And I became a mom again in my late 20s. So moving on to kind of like motherhood. Y'all, he's always in the background, okay? Bear with me. Just tune it out. But moving on, Ashton, 1 second. So moving on to motherhood, y'all. This is for my moms. Do not be afraid to ask for help. Like I said, I was a young mom. So that's why I said things to know in your 20s. If you are also a mom in your 20s, do not be, ask for help. Ask for help. People will help you faster than you think they will, but they're waiting on you to ask. And don't think that because, you know, if they can't help you all the way that you want them to help. And I use this for example. Like, I have a friend that does not have kids or whatever, and you know, when I tell her I need to do certain things, or I don't have a babysitter, she'd be like, and she'll say, you know, if I was there, I would keep your kids once a month, you know, on the weekend for you, so you can go out or whatever. If that's like, you know, even though that doesn't sound like a lot, only once a month, but y'all, that is help. Like, you didn't have that one night a month before. So do not be afraid, y'all. Do not be afraid to ask for help when it comes to parenting, because you cannot do it all alone. Even if you have two parents, even if both of the parents are in the household, even if both of the parents are co-parenting well, you still need help. It truly does take a village when it comes to kids. Put that pride to the side, because I know as a mom, we become very, very prideful. You become very, very prideful because, baby, I don't play about my kids. But you got to learn how to ask for help. The first time you ask for help and, like, you just do it, y'all, it does become easier. And every time, you know, they're not going to say yes. I think that's a lot of our problem, or our apprehension. Like, we want them to say yes every time. We don't want to hear no. Nobody wants to hear no. Nobody wants to feel rejected. But the more, like, the quicker you ask, and you ask that first for help, and you might get that yes, y'all, I'm telling you, it's a load off of your back. I'm telling you, y'all, it's a load off of your back. And so moving on to my next tip for still in the motherhood category. Y'all, I don't know what tip we on. Somebody tell me down below how many tips, if y'all been counting. But my next tip for motherhood is your identity matters, y'all. I see so often people my age, or even when I was in my 20s, because I've always been this way about this, but they just kind of let themselves go. Like, they become moms and that's their full identity. Like, that's their full identity. Like, the person that they were before they became a mom, that person no longer exists. And I'm not saying that, you know, they don't grow and don't change your, you know, your what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, like, I'm not saying don't grow, I'm not saying stay the same person that you were before, you know, don't evolve and all of that, don't become a I'm not saying any of that. What I'm saying is that you were somebody before you had those children, before you had that child, before you became a mom. You have to find who that person is now that she is a mom, but you still have to pour back into her, because you're not just such and such the mom, you know. You're not just that. You're such and such the mom, the hard worker, the boss, the spirit, the spiritual queen, like, whatever it is, y'all get what I'm trying to say. But whatever it is, y'all, your identity matters, and you have to find that out, and find it out as fast as you can. And then for anybody that may have dealt with, you know, postpartum or anything like that, definitely take your time, get back. But once you're feeling back like yourself and feeling, you know, good, definitely get that identity back, because, girl, like, You cannot pour from an empty cup. I'm here to tell y'all, even though I might look ugly, 10 out of the, even though, I'm gonna do a week. Even though I might look ugly 5 out of 7 days a week, but on them other 2 days, on a good week, 2 days, but on them other 2 days, oh baby, I'm gonna be the baddest of them all. I'm gonna do my hair, my makeup if I want to, put on, like, do my skincare, give me like a nice everything shot. Like, I'm gonna do it all because your identity matters. Trust me. Another thing I wish I knew in my 20s, and this is more like everyday, not necessarily motherhood, but I wish I would have focused more on myself. And for the longest time, y'all, I struggle on when people always say, you just gotta focus on yourself. And I just been focusing on myself. And I just been, you know, I don't know about y'all, but I used to really like, what do they mean, focus on yourself? What do they mean? I am focusing on myself. I am focusing on myself. I do have hobbies. I do have this. What do they mean? What do they mean? And y'all, it wasn't until my recent 30s that I finally understand what it means when they say focus on yourself. I was someone who, and I'm just being honest with y'all, I was someone who centered men. Like, I felt like I had to have a man. I had to be in a relationship. I needed my ego stroked. Like, I was that person. And so when people would tell me, like, oh, I just been focusing on myself, and you need to focus on yourself, like, that's what it means. It means decentering the thing that you were centering. So for me, like I said, that was men. So it means decentering men. It means putting yourself first, doing things that make you feel good, not caring how it's gonna make the other person feel, doing things because you want to. That's what showing up for yourself, focusing on yourself, that's what that means. And I want y'all to do more of that in your 20s. I want y'all to do more of that. Even if you are dating, even if, you know, you have something going on, you can still focus on yourself, and you can still give yourself the time and the care and the attention that you need. Because if not, you're going to find yourself lost. You're going to be lost, and if something happens, you ain't going to know where to find yourself. So if you already start to focusing on yourself and having those, like, I don't play about myself rules, boundaries, you won't lose that if something happens in that relationship, in that friendship. You won't lose that. Trust me. And this is kind of tying back into a tip that we kind of talked about earlier. And this is, again, still in the whole life realm and just finding yourself. But perfection is the enemy of progress. And with that, when I say that, y'all, a lot of people don't start something because it's not perfect. I was that way too. Y'all, it's so crazy because a lot of my healing comes from helping other people. Whoever's watching this video. Like that, a lot of my healing comes from that, because I was also that person. I wouldn't start something because it wasn't perfect. I knew, like, for example, being a hairstylist, even being a content creator, I know how to do hair. But in my mind, I'm like, well, if it doesn't look like this person doing hair, I got to do hair from my home and they get to do hair from a salon, then I just don't do it at all. Or I don't have the highest quality camera like they have the highest quality camera. Or I don't have enough, you know, aesthetic background like they have an aesthetic background, and then you just don't do anything. Trying to be perfect is the enemy of progress, because you're in your mind, you're trying to think of all the perfectionist things that you know want to have or should have or wish you had, and you don't do anything because you don't have that perfection. So y'all, perfection is the enemy of progress. Start where you are. Start with what you have. I love seeing a glow up. I love seeing a glow up. You're in your 20s, baby. It's okay. It's okay. Like I said, going back to point number 1, you don't even have to have it all figured out. I love seeing a glow up. I love seeing a glow up. I know y'all have all witnessed a glow up. Somebody not having the best of the best, and then you see them progress. I love it. I love it. Shell's freaking kiss. Y'all be getting through this kind of quick. Okay. Make sure y'all have already subscribed to my channel if you find this video valuable, if you've like learning something, if you like, okay, I see where sis going, I'm picking up what she's putting down. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up, or just leave me some love down below in the comments and say, like, girl, thank you for this. Where has this been? You know, let me know you rocking with it. Let me know you rocking with it. So y'all, I think we have definitely, so for our last and final tip, y'all, and we're gonna end this like on a life tip, you know. My last tip, as somebody who has started a business, somebody who is currently obviously a content creator, this is for you. Well, really, in any type of business, this is for you. To build a brand and not just the business. Because a business without any type of branding will not succeed. Do y'all know, can y'all think of like the person who you don't even really care what they're selling, but you're buying it because of their brand, because of what their brand represents, because of the person behind the brand, their morals, their values? Can y'all think of something like that? I know I can. I can think of, like, I don't care what this person put out, I'm buying it. I know for sure my girl Beyonce, whatever she buys, whatever she's selling, I'm buying it. We know, like Jada, her brand speaks for itself. Whatever she sells, people are buying it. Y'all, you gotta build a brand and not the business. And building a brand starts with, again, your morals and your values, showing up as your best self, being positive, treating others how you want to be treated. All of that comes with building a successful brand. If you just want to make a business because you want to make some money, y'all, I'm telling you, it's not gonna last long, because you can go fast alone. You can go very fast, but you will not go far. If you want to go far, you have to go with a team. You have to go with someone else. And I think that was a tip we kind of left off. So now that we're on it, y'all, let's talk about it. Yeah, if you want to go fast, definitely go alone. But I'm telling you, you won't get far alone. But if you want to go far, you need a team. That was something I wish it sank in, y'all. I wish it sunk in what people meant. Because trying to be the customer service, the brains behind the building, the business, the editor-in-chief, the CEO, the this and the that, the that and the this, trying to be all of that, y'all, I'm telling you, will get burnt out really quick. You will get burnt out really quick. A lot of people don't like to bring other people with them because they're afraid if, they're not going to shine the same way. No, y'all. If you want to go far, you need people. You need people. You need people to do what you're not good at, because you're not good at everything. And that was something I wish I knew sooner and wish I put into action sooner. And I know it does, in certain situations, y'all, it does take money to, have someone, to help you, or have someone to go along with you. But if you're not able to invest, y'all, you have to find somebody who's willing to do it, to volunteer and do it. Like if you have a younger cousin or a younger sister, or somebody who that's close to you, that does not mind helping, seeing you succeed, and they just want to be there for you. They're not necessarily in it for the money. If that's what you have to do starting out, y'all, then do that. But a successful brand goes far because it has people. It has people helping. It has multiple people doing multiple things. Can you imagine? Like it just leads to burnout really, really quick, y'all. So if you want to go far, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with other people. Woo, y'all, it's time for a popcorn break. So y'all, that wraps up my list of 20 things. Well, I don't know how many, y'all, but that wraps up my list of things that I wish I knew in my 20s as a girl in her younger 30s. It's still giving big sis, not quite auntie yet. So yeah, I hope y'all have found something very valuable from this video. I hope that you take something away, y'all, and just use it and apply it in the best way possible, because I want all my girlies to win. And as always, y'all, before we go, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you do not do it earlier when I gave y'all time. Okay, and then I will see y'all in the next videos. Thank y'all so much for watching. Bye.